There we go. All right, let's see. Mic working. Looks like it is. Hopefully everything's soft. Welcome, everyone. The Possum Lodge is now open. I see, Ness, you are frisked. I'm glad to see that my mix-it-up auto thing worked. Hi, Raven Moon. Welcome in. Thank you for the happy anniversary. It sounds like it is. Okay, good. I was hoping, I know the last couple times I've started up, the mic was not working. Everything looks to be out. But yes, it has been a miraculous 3 years of OB streaming, even though it's been kind of sparse, not gonna lie. But yeah, this all started back in 2023. We couldn't actually figure out when the exact streaming anniversary date is. We kind of have a guess, but all right, get that anime woman out of the way. It's time for Fritters Tea Opossum Sunday Day Drinking Power Hour. Yes, hope you all have your beers, whiskey, tequilas, wine coolers, and sake. Ah, yes, 3 years of streaming, a total of 3 streams. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. But yeah, I had to dig back to figure out when my first stream was, and the best guess, because I did do 2 mini streams to test out OBS and make sure I understood how this works, and it was they were just Power Wash Simulator, because that's what I was obsessed with at the time. But we think the first official one was Monster Hunter Rise. I have a clip. I was showing off my calicos that I made to look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And based off of that clip said it was made March 4th, 2023. So we're assuming that is the day of streaming. But I wasn't drinking today. Oh no. I'm drinking today, but I'm drinking my usual, my electrolytes. Gotta keep hydrated. But yeah, 3 whole years. I do have some, hopefully if my health holds out, because things are slightly getting better, and hopefully will improving even more so soon with a couple more doctor's appointments. And with that, if everything times out correctly, I will officially be entering the 2D, I guess I should say 2D movement world. I'm hoping to debut that maybe around the birthday affiliate stream. We'll see. I can't guarantee anything, because I already have the model and everything, and there's some things I'm plucking away at and trying to fix up, but we'll see. I may enter into the 2D movement. Health grab, wow. I also did, speaking of health, I actually did finally set up that heart rate tracker thing for streaming. So if you ever want to see what dysautonomia looks like in real life, where my heart rate just randomly skyrockets to 120 to 140 just by doing nothing, we can see that. Or I can induce the stress. I have found that Necrodancer, I love Crypto the Necrodancer, that has been kind of my fixation game. Is if I get towards the last couple of levels, my heart rate skyrockets. I always have to take a really huge break if I manage to beat the Necrodance again, so yeah, but welcome in everyone. Today I'm going to be making Haniwa on stream. I have one of the other comfort games that I've been playing is because of the recent update Animal Crossing, and I had put down the game back in I poked at it here and there throughout the years, but only really seriously picked it back up during that most update. And so this was my first introduction to gyroids, and I became completely obsessed with them. To the point where then I hyperfixated and also just did a dive on what Haniwa are, which is literally what the gyroids are based off of. And then what also coincided perfectly, I've been trying to clear out my crafting corner. I just have the huge drawers full of crafting supplies, and obviously there's just some crafts I'm never gonna do anymore, so it's just I need to start clearing it out. And I found a whole tub, and it's still good, a whole tub of air-dried terracotta clay. So I was like, perfect. I am obsessed with the gyroids. I want to make my own. I have this leftover terracotta. Might as well use it up. And it was perfect. And then I was like, I need a third anniversary stream idea. My original idea went out the window, which was I desperately wanted to play Pokopia, but of course they decided to make it a Sputch exclusive. Sputch being a Switch 2. I liked the idea that they were going to call it the Sputch as a tag, but alas, that didn't go through. Terracotta, because we're making spooky wee lads, yes. And I was gonna play Pokopia this weekend, but since they decided to make a Switch 2 exclusive, and I don't feel like upgrading to a Switch 2 yet, I was like, you know what? This Terracotta idea sounds great. And plus, I've been meaning to get back into, like, physical crafts. Like, I've been doing some digital art here and there, but man, do I miss the physical. So, do one today. And luckily, when I did research on the Haniwa, they actually use a traditional clay making technique, which anyone could do. I'll kind of explain that. So it should be nice and easy, hopefully. The terracotta did, although when I checked on it initially, it was a lot more moist. It is dried out a little bit, but luckily I do have some water with me, and hopefully it does seem to be still pliable. So hopefully that'll work. I did get my desk all set up to fill the terracotta so it's not staining it. Over. Front is pointing in the right direction. Need to see the face. There we go. Beautiful. But yes, we are using, where is it? Crayola's air dry clay. And you could tell I bought this a long time ago because it says it's $6.99. This is now running, I did see in store recently just in case this was gonna go bad and I wanted to buy some new stuff. It's now running for $9. Not that that matters too much, but we're gonna be using this clay to make or gyroids. Need all of. Here is my. But Haniwa are basically funerary objects that existed during the Kofun period. And so that's gonna be like around 300 AD to about like 500 AD, so kind of semi-recent, not very ancient. Or pie slice should. And the idea is, in a lot of funerary objects, obviously some of them are ceremonial. You hear about like ancient Egypt, and they usually made objects because, like, oh, you're taking it with you into the afterlife. Other funerary objects like sacrificial because you would often like sacrifice animals or things, or more commonly humans, especially if they were an important person. We're making chocolate cake today, eat it. I mean, I think technically you can eat ricotta. I wouldn't suggest it, but I do believe it is technically. And I'm gonna get this warmed up, and as you can see, I got my plastic down and my hands are gonna become quite orange. But as I was saying, for the funerary rites, obviously you would sacrifice people. Now, people then started realizing, hey, I actually don't want to kill more people for the person who died. And it's very common in ancient play as like a form of humanity. People believed there's so many creation myths, doesn't matter which religion. There's a lot of creation myths that all believe humans came from. To be honest, when you look at really wet, unprocessed clay, and I'll cure IBS. Did it cure my IBS? I don't think so. Problem with the terracotta. I could tell it's old because it's not very pliable, but we'll work with it. And oh wait, if I do anything background, it's too loud. Let me know. And because you know gyroids, Animal Crossing, got some Animal Crossing. Beautiful. Hopefully that's not too loud. It's nice and perfect for me. But creation myths, obviously, you know, if you look at super wet unprocessed clay and then you look at a brand spanking new baby, they kind of look the same, very mushy. So the idea is that if you made a clay figure of a person, the gods would accept that because they couldn't tell the difference between clay and humans. IBS, upgrade that to ICBM. We cheese gamut. Wow. But that's basically how the Honeywell kind of came about. It was this idea of like, hey, we don't really want to sacrifice people, but we also want to honor the people. And so they would make these clay figures, put them in the funerary mound to kind of represent the passed away. Nice thing is that now we're getting some part a little more. It uses the traditional. Luckily, that's basically how most clay objects are going to be made, unless you're like straight up spinning. Putting it on a clay, spinning it. The traditional way to make basically a lot of any sort of clay-based objects is to roll the clay out into a nice thin coil, and then you just keep wrapping it around in circles and going and going and going. So as you can see here, I've already got this finally worked out into more malleable shape. Start coiling it. Make art. Oh. And I do want to keep this kind of thin because it isn't air dry clay. We are not going to be baking this. I do not own a kiln or have access to a kiln, so I want to keep things rather thin. She made jerky! Sacrifice jerky for eternal blessing times 10. We're gonna get started with filling. To figure out how big do I want to make. I was trying to keep it like, my initial thought was I was gonna make a big one. But I realized I think just a bunch of mini ones. Alright, yeah. About an inch. About my. Start building up. So once you start with a rounded base, you could either cut it off and like push it together, or you just start coiling it on top. Rough shape going. As you can see here, like, filled it up, we're getting a nice hollow tube. You got the layers going, and basically what you do, and that's how ancient techniques go, is like you would take it and then you would start smoothing it out. So it's a little bit close. Get this a little bit wet. Cracking. Forbidden macaroon. I don't think. Definitely not eating. Yeah, this is all an experiment. I haven't worked with terracotta, basically, well, maybe I did do some stuff. Here we go. Oh, yes. Let's start. More moisture. Cold. Not white. Our inner Bob Ross. Not making mistakes, we're just happy accident. Getting some. But there's a lot of cute Haniwa too. Like obviously most of the Haniwa are like human shape, and I even have up on screen. Obviously we have our famous Gyroid Lloyd there from Animal Crossing, but I did pose him with some actual Haniwa. Typically that's how a lot of them kind of looked. They were rather simple. There are some more complex human figures. Usually have like samurai outfits and stuff like that, and hats and but obviously the more simple ones look kind of like the guys on screen. I have to admit though, the animal ones are pretty darn cute. If you look up the Haniwa horse or Haniwa, especially Haniwa dog. Haniwa dog is absolutely making a minor Haniwa mistake and accidentally condemning your loved ones to an eternity in hell of having an appointment in 45 minutes, so it's too early to leave but too late to start anything at that house. Wow, that's rude. We're into the other coil going. Although it is kind of funny, like I actually was like half disappointed, like hoping, oh, I hope Haniwa is like very, very ancient. No, it's actually, I love me my ancient culture. I've been talking about downtown Chicago. Am called the Isaac at the Chicago camp. He went last year. It was fascinating, but unfortunately, like I didn't have a lot of my stuff that I do now. I did have my body break, but or no, we didn't even bring it. That I had something else going on. But I didn't like have like my cane or any of my mobility aid stuff or anything to kind of help me, so we had to like cut our visit last year. I do hope to kind of go back there, like a whole several different examples. Not get. Yeah, we'll just play it by. That's what I keep. That's an old. Gotta get rough. Using whatever I've got from my crafting. Best kind of craft. Not having to buy new stuff, just. Up again. I don't know, I'm actually kind of glad that I wound up doing this today. I think yesterday would have been bad for like 2. I think, based off of what I saw this morning, the reason why yesterday was so bad for me health-wise, I might have not taken my meds. I don't know. Like, I have my pill does have like a weekday thing set up, but like, not perfect. And I was confused when I grabbed my meds this morning. It was like, oh, Saturdays is still in there, and I don't know if I missed it today or if I missed it earlier this week. But I'm glad that today I'm doing much better. Another reason why I like it is freaking gorgeous out. Got some nice natural lighting today to make it's easier to. Like yesterday it was pretty. It wasn't too bad, but it was pretty glum. Lighter. I have to say, the Animal Crossing, I'm glad that there was an up. I think it kind of works out. It's kind of appeasing me having Poco P. I am glad to see. I was excited about Gen 10 finally. I'm glad that they're taking their it. My only hope with it, stuff with the is that I really, really hope I saw those Pikachu, all those tan Pikachu, those Hawaiian kind of like tropical outfits, and I just hope that they're not going the way that Pokemon did, which was just like, oh, we're just gonna put Pikachu in a gazillion different outfits, and now you get to collect those too. Like, please. I hated that. Like, I'm fine with Pokemon outfits, but like, okay, like maybe just pick a different Pokemon each. But like the Pikachu in a gazillion different driving. Like the more I work. I'm trying to get it taller, not. Alright, we're getting it. Nice kind of. I don't want this getting too. I'm gonna. Like I said, it's been a hot minute. This. I'm just learning as I'm going. Taking it. There we go. That's much. Water on. Cutting really close to the finger there. We OSHA violations, yeah. I mean, to be fair, this pocket knife is so unbelievably. I've had that thing since high school. That was like my first excited purchase of like, you know, like a lot of people are like, oh, when I turn 18, I want to do this, that, or the other thing, like super grown up stuff. I'm like, no, my first thing I wanted to do was buy a pocket knife. Like I got to go on my own, show my ID, and was like, yep, this is the one I want. Of course, did I research it? No. Like, I just want a knife. Got this really dull pocket knife that I did with high school. So unbelievably noise gated. Literally cannot hear the second. Oh no! Hold on. Laura's coming to adjust the mic. Wait, can you check the back? I wonder if me moving the mic, it changed like the reading settings. All good. All good. Okay. Wait, yeah, see? There we go. Had a feeling. Let's see, basically lasts 25 to 50% ever. Dang, okay. Luckily, the last sentence, I think, was that I was just talking about the knife, that it was so the knife is sharp or dull? Very dull. I guess I was bought it in high school, didn't pay attention to like what I was buying, because I was just like, I just want a knife. I wanted a pocket knife. Like that was like my adult thing. It was like, nope, that's what I want. I was kind of, I've always been like a semi-outdoor person. I'm not like huge into like hiking and stuff like that and camping. Like I can do it. I just know it costs me. So don't do it. Dull knives, cars, mug. Exactly. Well, I mean, that's why I brought this guy over, because it's just like, it's clay. I'm not really cutting it. I need it more as like a, just kind of not very, don't really need a sharp object to cut through. If it was like partially hardened clay, yeah, I would probably grab. I mean, I do have as backup too. I do have my like wire. Knife sharpening ASMR. I don't know if this thing could even get any more sharper. Like, we could try to sharpen. It is so old, and it was not meant to be. It was a cheapo knife. Keep working at this, and it's going anywhere. Alright. Just keep making it thinner and thinner. I just gotta keep going. Let's get higher. I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. Another coil. Up there. I'm trying to think of like what shape I want this in. Obviously we gotta make a coil all the way up and then it's gonna dome. Need to go that much. Like maybe? Getting rid. I don't know if we might want to. Let's get some butter on. Prep it. If I'm committing play crimes, I am sorry. Like I said, it's been years since. Be better with. But my ancestors are happy. All our ancestors with clay. Alright. He's sharpening the knife. I do remember learning this technique in high school. I wound up like making like a carafe and like a cup. My itty bitty brain didn't realize though that like, oh yeah, hey, like you want to make this thing, you have this great idea, but the clay that we were using was not food safe. So then I kind of got upset because it was just like, oh, I spent all this time making this pretty carafe and cup and I can't use it. Just a pretty decoration in my room for. Why aren't we closing? Doing more sharpening. Hi, Talon. Welcome. Ancestor. Hardly know her. Wow. Not by them. Oh, here. Mike is on this side. Got knife sharp. I attempt to make. Oh my gosh, it is like falling apart. What is going on? I need to do this like. Might just do it like the aluminum foil way, which is like you take some aluminum foil, you basically get it in the shape that you want, and then you build the clay up around. Like, I was trying to dome this, and now this is wider. I don't understand. You need to make a dome. If I could, like... There we go. Alright, now it's kind of closing up. That definitely doesn't look pretty. That's okay. Saddest looking Joyride I think I've ever seen. Aniwa-kun isn't meant to be pretty. I know. This might just be the test run one. I mean, I plan to chill here. This was supposed to be like a chill stream just to do arts and crafts. I might grab someone, like take a quick break, grab some aluminum foil and make like a nicer one. This was just attempt number one, and attempt number one usually never goes well. He's meant to be bendy and weird. Now make him short and squat to be more stable. That's what I'm trying to do, but every time like I try to like make it so it sticks, like it just keeps opening up. At this point, I am tempted just over on the guy because he is just falling apart. We're gonna get some more water. I'm gonna recoil him. Try this. We're starting over. I'm gonna try a slightly different item. Plus, getting a little bit more. I do think this is like, that's the problem, is like it is crumbling. I can feel like a lot of crumble of that. Does mean it's more messier. But this should work a little. Try the coil method one more time. And if it doesn't work, we're going right. There we go. Get this thinner. To be honest, like the design that I'm going for, I figured I was gonna make it look like the traditional, like Lloyd gyroid, and then maybe put like Opie like some possum ears, baby beret. You can do it as like one solid. Try. I'm gonna try it a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna do it a little bit different. Put in layer. So far, this is looking a lot better. Water. Bowie, what? Bowie. Not beret. Or barrette. Bowie. I am saying Bowie. Bowie, yes. You know, dissing on my French. No, it's French. Another thing I don't remember a lick of any of it. Getting messages on Steam, thanks. Oh yeah, that is much. Alright. Enough of a coil. It kind of broke off. But let's get Smith. Prep. Or actually adding that water in. This is so much more. Good. There we go. And smoothing it out. on. Let's sneak it into St. Gabriel's Cemetery and put the floppy Haniwa on someone's loser's mausoleum. Wow. They should be honored if there's an Haniwa on their mausoleum. But I hope everyone's having a Sunday afternoon. I miss this time slot. This is actually like my favorite time stream. Like it's, I don't know, for me it's perfect for a Sunday. I always like to keep Sundays as a day that I don't do anything. And like, for me, or like, it's the day that I get to do stuff I enjoy. It's my rest. I miss doing that regularly. Hoping with some of the new doctor's appointments and stuff like that, that we can get to the bottom of a couple of things. And with that, I could kind of get back into the regulars. It would be nice to go back to, like, streaming at least weekly. Popping off another chunk. Here we go. Streaming weekly, no stream strongly, and daily. I wish, man. And I genuinely... 5 days from together. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Alright, but we're gonna do it opposite. I also got really excited today. So I watched a very old anime. I guess... very old, not very old anime. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like actually its humor would do better now than when it aired, but that's just me. I watched Polar Bears Cafe. I kind of put it on as like this like kind of non-anime. Like I do like having an anime that I don't have to pay a lot of to. I absolutely fell in love with it. And I love it in the outros that they have like little paper versions of the main characters. And I was like, I need that. I need that so bad. And I was like looking everywhere. And unfortunately, because like the manga came out, I think it debuted in 2012. But the anime, I think it was, it might have been earlier. Maybe the anime. And I was just like, damn, I can't find, I want those paper crafts. I want to make the little characters so bad. And today I was actually just browsing Pinterest because I did save a couple pins, of Polar Bears Cafe, and they showed up, and I'm like, oh heck yeah, I have a paper craft coming up soon. I'm gonna make those guys. But I highly recommend it. I will say, though, I feel like you need to get, like, past episode 5 before it starts getting actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I want to say, like, the first 3 episodes, I'm like, oh, am I even gonna continue with this? Am I gonna bother with this? Like, it's almost, like, too much of a non-anime. But then, like, it really picked up and right. So goofy and so stupid. It was so perfect. And I love Miss Sasako. She is definitely one of, like, my favorite characters. And I stand her because she's, like, she's, you know, retail worker. And she just, like, obviously you get, I don't know, if anyone's ever worked retail, you sometimes get asked really bizarre questions. And I just love her just complete nonchalance of just, like, I don't want to answer that. And just being straightforward. And I absolutely adore her for it. For me, it was always just like, nope, I feel like I have to answer if I don't want. Alright, good. We are kind of getting into dome shape now. Going. We're going to keep this. It finally feels a little bit like spring up. Keep getting a little bit of the full spring, right? Like it'll up here we've been getting like a couple of days. I think there's been like at least 1 or 2 days now so far we've hit up into the 70s. But for the most part, we've been like as the. But we do keep going back down. Mildly annoying. I love having this. Fight the rain. We do have a lot of back-to-back. Forward to it. I look plants and flowers. The biggest thing I know this year I want to try to get out to Chicago to see cherry blossom. But my favorite always is lilacs. That seems more predominant. That there's a lot of lilac bushes out here. But those are a little bit later. They usually come out and have always been ultimate. The moment the air starts, lilac. Okay, doing this method has worked so much better. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Get started on an art project and just, it doesn't go the way that you want. You gotta start over. Streaming, let's see. The last time we went to the park was closed for renovation, so the Cherry Blossom Festival, yeah, it was. Well, I mean, the problem is like, no, we also did go late. And like, yeah, it was under renovations, but like the main blossoms were already blue. We only caught some of the like blossoms that were outside of the park. I do look forward to, I want to go. Like a traditional cherry blossom. Of course, when May hits, go to the parks to lilacs. Like one of my photography of. Start. This one's gonna be kind of watch. I might be able to like. Okay. I don't know. One of these days, I do playing all the animals. Obviously, for me, my first introduction to COVID. That was an interesting time. I actually wasn't planning on getting it because it was just like whatever. But then, like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of bought into the hype that everyone was on it. Although it was funny. Like, I did start experiencing that Joy-Con drift everyone was talking about. And of course, I experienced it right during the lockdown. Like, the height of the lockdown. And like Nintendo, never hype, always show up late, yeah. And of course, Nintendo, obviously you could send in your Switch to get it repaired, but because of the lockdowns and everything, like a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I sent my Switch in like a month ago and I still haven't even gotten it back because, you know, all these lockdowns and there's not enough people to deal with it and ship it and all that fun stuff. So I actually learned how to repair my own Switch. I got really good at it to the point where like a lot of our friends, like anytime they started experiencing Joy-Con, be like, yep, send it my way. I could pop those Joy-Cons out and get them repaired. You lickety. I do want to play every Animal Crossing. I did enjoy it. I first played it. It's a shame that I don't have my original island, but it was interesting though. Like villagers. Like, I kind of understand the ugly villager thing, but I also kind of don't. But I do have one that I'm obsessed with. And my ultimate favorite villager, because I feel like everyone does. Everyone has at least their one or two favorite villagers. My ultimate favorite, which is going to be weird, is Benjamin. It's me, the ugly villager. No. I love Benjamin. Benjamin is my favorite villager. I originally hated him. He came to my island because, you know, like, when your island starts, you have to have one of each character type. And he was, like, my auto-lazy villager. And at first I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm not too thrilled with his design. I think I'm gonna have to kick him off. He's like my first one where I'm like not too thrilled with it. But I was like, on one hand, like, yeah, I'm gonna kick him off, but on the other hand, for the time being, until I have access to kick him off, like, I had watched Rosenmaid, just watched Rosenmaid, and I was like, oh, he kind of looks like Detective Kun at least. So I could at least make him, you know, look like that. And so I hung on to him, and then I got some other villagers that I was like, no, I actively want them gone because they're annoying. So Benjamin stuck around. And that's when he just started completely growing on me. Like, I initially planned to kick him off my island, but then it was just like, no, I love, he loves bugs. I hate bugs, but he loves bugs. He likes to eat snacks, and he just always says the weirdest, dumbest shit. And I know that at, like, every lazy villager, like, each villager type says the same thing. But for me, it just, like, I don't know. For me, he was just so different and so special. And I had fallen in love with him ever since. Like, I fell in love with him even more. Like, I started playing Pocket Camp on my phone, and I got him on Pocket Camp, and it was just like, no. I love how dumb and stupid and ugly he is. He's just so perfect, and I love him. So I've called him my son. Let's see. I misheard you and thought you said that's when he started throwing up instead of growing up. Wow. I mean, he has moments where he looks at you and you're like, yeah, you look like you just... You're about to do that, hey mom, I just threw up, like me, aren't you? But I love him. He is now my ultimate favorite villager. It is just a shame that I literally, once again, just like half of my husbandos, I cannot find any merchandise of my pork of him. I guess I just have very interesting. All right, we finally got a dome shape going. Elongate. So yeah, I could try more water on before out crumble on. All this work. Shit to me. I will say I've never used a pottery. Always been find like those pottery. Absolutely. Also very soothing. Happy 3 years, Opie. Thank you, Raz. Welcome in. I'm just talking Animal Crossing and working quietly, comfortably on attempting to make a gyroid using the traditional coil method, but we'll see. We're making gyroids, or haniwa, which is why I have them up on screen. Our first attempt didn't go well, so this is attempt number 2. But we're getting there. Unfortunately, like, I raided my crafting corner, and I did find, like, a tub of terracotta. It is pretty old, so I'm, like, constantly having to rework a lot of water into it to get it anywhere malleable, but we'll see. Yeah, these, I just let this piece dry out. Rehydration party, yes. Trying to get it back. We almost got a dome shape, so we're getting there. Then I might try to, like, elongate it a little bit. I might add maybe towards the bottom to make it a little taller, but we'll see. This clay, boy, does this clay need... Dunk it into my bowl of water. Come on. There we go. It's still kind of crumbly. Get in the water. Come on. There we go. Now we're getting milk. Cut off another. I'm running out of the little bits I have here. There we go. All right, time to coil. We're just keeping this in. got you on while I do chores, but I'm glad I could stop smiling. Well, welcome in. I'm glad I could be your chore buddy. Like, literally one of my favorite things. Like, oh, there's stuff I need to do. Like, that's literally what got me through when I was working remote. I was working for a payroll company. And I was working remote, and, like, literally having VTubers on was, like, my saving grace for dealing with a lot of, like, the absolute boring. Alright, we now have another solid coil. Raz cleans messes while we make messes. The Tao of cleaning is not the day that can be tidied up. Wow. 1000% helps so much during the drudgery. Exactly. I'm still cutting it. Oh, okay. Interesting. I wonder if there was, I did see somewhere, and you know what, I might look into it. I know there was like somewhere I saw online people were talking about that there was a Microsoft update that really screwed with a lot of mic settings. I might need to actually, I haven't been streaming, so of course I wouldn't have. I haven't been able to, yes, okay, good. Yeah, I'll look into that then after this. Like, I saw it, but it was just like, I don't know if that's gonna affect me. It's affecting. All right, there we go. Dunk. Almost at a dome. Oh, I'm gonna close this. But we are very close. Just get my index. I didn't have that hit me, but it has some auto crisping that already messes things up for a lot of people. Because you're not a Windows 11, so I was safe, but if 11 were, yeah, Windows 11 because I had this is a built this year, or no, last year at this point. However, I did do a lot of their Windows 11 stuff to like not have like pilot. I know some of their updates still get sneaky past a lot of my. I removed this. I'll take a look into see. Pausing my. Could also be OBS. I haven't like. OBS has been sitting for a hot minute. Windows censorship. Yeah. We're dropping more and more. Windows knows we're talking about it and taking maybe. Yeah, you can bring it here. We can bring it like here. Oh, there we go. We got
Cheeto dust all over it.
Cheeto dust. Wow. Thanks, Lore.
Microphone.
The microphone will be okay. I will wash him afterwards. Get a bath. All right, we have a dome. Now the question is, how do we close the dome? Great question. Probably just plug it up, really. Need like really wet. Let Opie talk. Yes, Mike, please let me talk. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna put a cap on it. A lot more than it is. And my apologies if you're one of those people who can't, if you're, any of you guys are one of those people who can't stand the word. It really, I understand, but I also don't understand. It does not bother me. All right, there we go. Now we've got slightly more malleable clay. Shaped. And we're gonna add some coiling to the bottom. That looks good. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, Lord. You pushed a button. You made me angry. He pushed the button to make me angry, chat. Anyone who can't stand what? Your mic? My mic. All right, Lore is currently, which is why my face is angry, because I have one of those mice that have function keys on them. And that's how I usually change my emotions. He accidentally clicked it. I'm angry. But he is currently poking through settings right now to see if this while I continue to work on closing up my gyro. Oh. I believe they closed up for me. Smooth edges. Go. Almost got it. But you want me to go on a be right back? OMG, lore arm, my immersion's broken. Yeah. Do you want me to take, we could go to a BRB really quick if you want, if that works. But I highly doubt I highly doubt, don't believe Opie lies. She's just angry. Am I just angry? Angry about Clay and Windows 11. True, I am angry about Windows 11. I won't lie about that. All right, we have a dome! Yay! We finally have a dome for our gyroid. So we have a head, essentially. I do want to make it a little bit taller. Get some of these. Go. All right, we have a dome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. Let me pull out the big chunk. Go. You know what? Yeah. Oh. Put another cake slice out of this. Little more. Go. And now we gotta work this so that way also nice and moist, and then we could get some more going. All right, although I don't want to be angry, so wait, no, that's not it. There we go. Now we're at least happy. Hard part, getting this to nice and smooth. Probably be easier if this clay was a, but whole point is for me to use what I already have. Clear out that crafting, because man, it is getting overrun. Hi, Bahamut, welcome in. All right, hopefully we made a little change to the microphone. Don't know if that's gonna do it. All right, now we're getting a little bit better. Still needs a little bit. Still more moisture, unfortunately. Like I said, this probably would have been better if the clay was a little fresher, but that's what you gotta do sometimes. I mean, that's the thing though with like this kind of clay though, it almost like never goes bad. So long as you could rework the moisture in, unless it's like completely dried out, like you can get it back. It's like, kind of like acrylic paints. It's really hard for acrylic paints to be completely bad. Still cutting out here, but a lot better. Okay, good. This is feeling like a better piece, so now we could start working. Oh. Or water. Or not. Well, I'm glad today's just kind of like a chill stream day. It would kind of suck if I had a lot to say, because I'm just kind of chilling here. Making crafts. I wonder if grabbing the oh, it is. It is. That's what's showing up on screen. You have it pulled up here. It's pulling the mic. Oh, it's pulling my webcam mic. All right, hold on. We're gonna go to a be right back.
No, Cheeto does something.
All right. Here. We have to do OBS, and unfortunately my mic is only on the screen. So... properties. But see, OBS is saying it's using the Yeti. Interesting. Talk more, talk more, talk more. I mean, hopefully that did it. I mean, keep yapping, woman. I'm yapping away. I don't know what to talk about, though. I mean, I am trying to get this coil working. Okay, that was absolutely, okay. We fixed the sound. Well, it wouldn't be an OP stream if there wasn't scuff. Like, there always has to be scuff. I think it was playing, I do too. Because it's been a while, like, because you borrowed the webcam, and then now that it's back here, sometimes when I first put it back on, it, like, decides, oh, that's the default. And it's like, no, that's not the default, hun. Scuff is required for all streams. Indeed. If there was no scuff, the stream did not happen. Exactly. Here we go. I borrowed the webcam for an interview. Got the interview, so clearly it was OP magic. Wow. But yes, he did. That starts after next week. New job. OP is magic, yes. I have my possum magic stored in my possum pouch. That is a book, though, that I read growing up. Although it was about Australian possums. It was literally called a book called Possum Magic. It's a very cute little story. About wanting to be invisible and knowing what people thought of you. I thought it was like an interesting, it was very much like an introvert story of like, oh, I kind of want to know what people think of me, but also like that also doesn't really matter, you know? Like ultimately you need to be you. It was fascinating. Right? The only reason why I have that book is because my mother she was also a teacher. She did her student teaching in Australia. That in and of itself is fascinating. Only because she was also born in New Zealand, which is a whole other story. But that's why we had that book. She always had like a box of things from Australia, and like that was one of them. And then she had this little stuffed koala that had a like wind up, and it would play Waltzing Matilda. I just remember like that was like one of like my favorite things to play with. It was just like you would wind it up. It was a fluffy koala, and you would play the Waltzing Matilda. And that song to this day will still get stuck in my head. Kiwi mom, she is and isn't. She was born there because she was on an American air base. But yes, she is a Kiwi mom. All right, time to make this taller. There we go. I'd say this. She does too. I mean, and that's the funnier thing. Is she was born down there, and she lived down there till about she lived down there till she was like about like 5, I want to say. So she does actually have like vague memories of it. But of course being, you know, army base kind of stuff. So ultimately she was still considered US citizen, but she still kind of holds the Kiwi ideals. Cause like we did like, one of her favorite things she about was like the poi, and the Maori tribes. I actually, fascinatingly, because of all that, I know a lot about Maori, and I know a lot about like Aboriginal like history. And it's just so fascinating. I love ancient culture. They're all just so fascinating. Which is why I'm only mildly disappointed that Haniwa aren't technically ancient. They're old, but they're not ancient. But the concept of them is pretty. You know, that there's like a funerary clay gifts to the gods after death. All right, let's see if we can make it taller. A little hard working from the bottom like this, but I don't like this. Dome is good. I don't want to get rid of that dome. I wonder if it's worth trying to do top down. What? Yeah, that is a bit better. Going top down instead of bottom up. I think it's now starting to crumble. Oh no! Here we go. That's behaving. Keep going top down. Flattening. That'll work. I'm actually surprised at how long this is taking. My plan was like, oh, I'll make like 3 or 4 of these little guys. I'm like, nope, this is taking much longer. We are making 1 today. Come on. Like, almost like too wet. But also like not enough. Like not absorbed. 1 honey, 1 made with love though. Exactly. All right. A little bit better. Bit from getting too. I want it to flare. I want to go a little bit narrower with the yeah. Got a little bit more height. Get like maybe like 2 more coils and then that, yeah, that should be good. Like 2 more rows of this would give it the height it needs. Then we could add the arms and I could add my little decorations and we'll be good to go. All right, let's get another coil going. Oh, and I think the end of the... Yes, it is. There we go. A little bit of Animal Crossing low. Okay. So feel it dry. It feels good to be working in a physical medium. Like I was saying earlier, I've been doing digital stuff here and there, but I'm actually more comfortable with traditional. I mean, that's how I was never taught, like I didn't go to art school. I had like the standard art classes that everyone kind of goes through. So a lot of my stuff was just kind of self-taught. I mean, that's the one benefit of being homeschooled. Kind of learn how to teach yourself pretty easy. I have a crazy schooling. Like I was in public school, I was homeschooled, I was in private school. Like I've kind of seen it all. Like I feel like the only type of school I have not been in really is like I have vague knowledge of charter. And the other type would be like, I feel like it's just charter. Like I've been like in a lot of other schools. I've even been in like international based schools as well. You were schooled charter? Yeah, I was. I was schooled. I was schooled from preschool to about 3rd grade. Then in 4th grade, because my mom was a licensed teacher, mind you, she was just like, you know what? And there was also a lot of like drama going behind the scenes at our school. My mom was just like, I'm done. We're just gonna pull you out and I'm just gonna take over and we're good. Now, granted, she always wanted to do whatever was best for us. So like, for me, I took to homeschooling like a fish to water. My siblings, like my brother on the other hand, not necessarily for him. He needed that kind of like competitive, you know, friendly social atmosphere for him. So like by the time he hit like middle school, I want to say, he went straight back into, I think they did private school. But yeah, I was homeschooled until 4th grade. I stuck around in being homeschooled until like high school, and then like my freshman year of high school, I did private schooling just for a little bit. And I was just like, I don't like the social drama, and also I did not like the fact that like okay, the problem is like to get into the schools, because I was homeschooled, they needed you to take like a proficiency test, which fair, because like I've also heard the horrors of some homeschooling. It goes both ways. And boy, I could go on and on about that. But I had to take a test, but the problem was is like the time that I had to take the test is my mom just had surgery, and there was like a lot of family stuff happening, so like my schooling like was on hold for like a little bit, which is kind of normal for homeschooling. And but I took the test during that time, so I scored extremely poorly. Which was not accurate to like what my actual academic level was, but because I scored poorly on that test, they're like, okay, well, we're gonna put you in all remedial classes. And I was like, we were all like, no, because like that's not my skill level. Like my skill level at best should not even be remedial. I should at least be in the normal ed classes. Ideally we wanted to be in honors and stuff like that, but like we were even just trying to fight. We had to like fight the school. It took over like 3 or 4 months to fight the school to even just get me back into normal classes, because I was getting so bored in the remedial. Because it was like, yeah, I don't need the basics. I already got the basics. It was just I tested poorly. But between like, yeah, having to fight the school on that, and then just, I don't know, call it the tism or whatever, just I was not down for the social drama that came with high school, and it was just like I just did not want to deal, especially when I knew I had the option of just being like saying no and leaving. And so that's what I did at the end of freshman year, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. We're just gonna continue homeschooling until it's time for college, because it was just like I don't want to deal with the drama and all that with all the people around me, because, and of course being at a private school, you know the drama is pretty nasty, so just didn't want to deal with it and wound up being homeschooled basically until college, and then I went away to college. I don't understand why they wouldn't just put everyone in normal and then move up or down. Exactly. Gotta do what's most profitable at the expense of the user. Yeah. It was, to say the least, it was obnoxious. It drove me insane. I didn't mind it. I made some good friends in some of the remedial classes, and I was always happy because, like I said, my academic level was technically higher, and I didn't have a problem helping a lot of those kids out. Like, yes, I did get partnered up, and, like, it wasn't bad. But, yeah, by the end of my freshman year, it was just, like, when my parents were like, oh, do you want to continue? And I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. I'm done. I got my fill. I understand. And to be fair, like, for me, homeschooling wasn't bad. Like, I know a lot of people always get really worried about socializing. The thing is like, it depends on where you are and whether or not there's good homeschooling groups. And we had good homeschooling groups. I had some solid high school friends that were homeschooled. So it was like, yeah, I wasn't really missing out, and I was still participating in a lot of stuff. Like, I still had orchestra, I still had, like, all these other things that I could participate in without, like, worrying about, oh, am I gonna fall behind social? You should have fought those kids, improving your warrior spirit advanced in the honors classes rapidly. That's why they're called honors classes, the duels. Wow. That would have been great. I think I might have done well with that. I was a lot more athletic when I was in school for. And I think as long as you're getting the social practice, then it's fine to do school however works best for you. Exactly. And like, it worked for me because, like I said, my mom was a teacher, and I've seen the bad end of homeschooling. So trust me, like, there's the good end, and then there's the bad end, where there's a lot of unschooling, and it's a loaded term. I get it. But hot topic, that one. But I do think, like, there was, and, like, even when I got into teaching myself, like, even I could tell when I was working in schools of, like, that kid would probably benefit from being homeschooled. They would probably excel a lot better and feel a lot more comfortable versus, like, in school. Of course, like you said, there should be tests to ensure kids actually learning, but normal school doesn't work. Exactly. Clay Potato! Yeah, I know, we're kind of getting there. He almost looks like a gyroid. I'm trying to, like, shape it up a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like we're almost at the height. No, I think we need one more coil. One more coil, and then we could start adding the dimensions. Let me get this last coil going. Get to make him look like a gyroid. Hola, Opie, how you doing? We're doing good. Health has been on the up and up, kind of. Had some pretty rough week read. They're improving. The point is like we're getting more answers stuff I can do, and like understand. So that's kind of like the goal. I've got a couple more doctor's appointments, and I'm hoping with those underway in the information from that would allow me to move and get better. Because there's like a couple of things going on where it's just like, okay, if I do this, it can make this worse, but if I do this, it can make that worse. Like if I have a clear answer, I know what I can't. And that's the goal. Now the damn mic is cutting out again. It's still a lot better, but alas, damn. It also could just be that like I keep leaning forward like this, as I have a tendency to do when I do crafts, is I like to like get my face all the way up into it. So I will try to make sure I'm sitting a little more upright so that the mic is reading me. Also what? We are just shy of an hour and a half. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Let me get this coil rolled out and like almost started, and then I do think I will need to go to a be right back just to take a break to stretch out. And then we'll try and finish this up. I hereby am redeeming mod exclusive, get the hell up and break, relax your spine. Yes. We'll get there. Let me just get this coil out. I want it to be a little narrower because it keeps widening. A little shorter. That looks good. All right. Let me get it attached. I won't start smoothing. I'm gonna just get it attached, and we will go on a little bit of a break. As Laura said, I need to stretch out my spine. It's not just completely up in my desk chair. Water. Unshrimping is important. Exactly. There. Couple of pinches. There we go. All right. Although, let me get a little water on here. Like that, it's cracking like that. Okay. All right, mostly good for now. I'm gonna come back, we'll smooth it out, and then we'll add the decoration. So I will see you all in a little bit. Enjoy the Be Right Back music. Alright, I'm back from de-shrimping. Let's get this gyroid finished up. Last I left off, let's see, we were getting this bottom coil on. I do need to make sure, because it is starting to kind of dry out a little bit, so that work some of this. I want like too much water. Too much water, then it's like not really, it just slow. But we're getting there. At this point, it's kind of easy. I don't know how we're going to do the arms. I would like to do the arms like the gyroids in Animal Crossing. We might skip out on that just because it's like, I don't know with how dry this clay is. I don't know how well it'll hold. I mean, I brought my wire. I have my wire here to help like attach them, but I don't know how well that. We shall see. I rather like focus on the face. I think I'm going to focus on the face first before I do the arms, because the arms aren't like super. Like that does help. Like that is one of the identifiers of. But, right, I think that's a better base. Feel like it could be a little higher, but good for. When you speak more clearly, it doesn't drop. I'm not sure why it's dropping instead of just coming in quiet, but yeah, I guess. There's stuff we could fiddle with. Alright, let me plop it just so that way it gets a face, and let me. There we go. Alright, so. Like curved. No, it's like you guys can't see because I have it facing me. But I will turn it around one. Opie definitely needs a nose. We're gonna make a nice pointy nose because we're going possum. Possums have cute little kind of point. Oh. Try off. It's good to have paper towels on. Alright. A little bit of like a. There we go. Like kind of cute. Flatten. Little bit of water. There we go. We got a cute little nose going. Ooh, there's like a bit of a. There we go. So cute. Yes. Got our little nose. Actually, I might take the wire and make glasses, but we shall see. That might be more towards the end. We're not gonna make the glasses out of clay. It'll be too. Let's do. Just use our little pick here, guys. Get through. Back end. Down. There we go. Get crackling. Right, we've got one eye. Here we go. We've got eyes and nose. This is coming out really cute. Do I want to do the traditional just open mouth, or should I do like a cute little like the kitty cat mouth, like a little upside down like sketch it. Yeah, that'll actually be kind of cute. Let's see if I could happy. Kind of hard to get. Good alter. There we go. I say that's a pretty cute mouth. All right, so we've got that. We got the happy face. Let's go ahead. I feel like we need the arms. The arms are just gonna. The arms are definitely gonna do it. Here to sit a little bit better. Taller. Let's give it a gun. No. We're not giving her a gun. Smooth it in. She's a little crooked, but we love her. That's the thing. The art can't be perfect. Little bit imperfect. All right, let's see if I can make the beret. This got dried out while I took that break, of course. Not sure how long I'm gonna have to leave this out to dry. We're gonna find out. Luckily, I have a lot of spots that I could just plop it and leave it alone. Work that, Clayton. Beautiful. All right. That is much. Cool. It is kind of like an. I'm not gonna go for anything kind. Almost. A little wider. Work on some ears. Yeah, I think that looks. All right, get it to stick though. Friction, roughness, tab on. What? Ah, it's so cute. My beret always has that little like part that sticks out. Small. Ah, it's so dry. And it's like, I need to add water to it, but then it's like too much water and then it becomes like too slimy to work with, you know. We're gonna need to make the ears anyway. Sure. Throw some water on there. We're just gonna, I don't need a lot. There we go. Now it's getting nice and workable. Little chunk. Button tag. There we go. The ears. That's gonna be kind of hard because they're pretty thick. This. You know what? I'm gonna move this guy up. There we go. Probably don't need this much, but I want to make them a little thick because, like, obviously when this dries out, I don't want this to be like thin. Becomes equal. Bit. This. All right. Oh, let me. All right. Ah, that's so cute. All right. All right, we've got one ear. It's darn cute. The other ear going. Do the same thing. She's a cute teapot. She's a cute teapot. She is. She does look like a little teapot. Like the other ear match. Throw pizza. You can't type. Did it throw? I have tits open. You did not get pizza? Wow. This goes to show I haven't streamed in a while, so it's like, yeah, of course stuff is... Scuff, scuff, scuff. Yes. Alright. Let me turn her back around. Other ear. But this ear, I'm gonna do something special. Very important. Little heart pattern in my ear. All right. Bracket. Head on there. All right. So far, so good. Ah, she's adorable. All right, we're gonna try and work on the arms, and then that'll be that. And I'm gonna let her dry. Or I don't know, or should I do arms, or should I just do a big, like, tail that wraps around? I'm just to do, like, a tail that just kind of wraps around. Oh. A Pasiwana fit for an emperor's horde, right? I feel like it, no, but it needs the arms, because, like, they all have arms. Might need to use wire. This, I guess first let me get the... Maybe maybe I'll include a tail too. We'll see. sunny day out, so I could put her up on the windowsill, and hopefully that'll help cook up the clay. Dry it out a little bit. It takes, let's see, what does it say? Drying time takes approximately 2 to 3 days, depending on the size and thickness. All right, so in 2 to 3 days, Aniwa Opie, be ready. All right, I think this. All right, move you here. Ready to go. Do want them a little thick. We'll do it. Well, I'll do it like Animal Crossing style. One up, one. Need a bit of wired. Running through. Into the thing. Worm on a hook. Oh, no. Alright. Mostly. That might. Alright. There we go. Part of this. Here we go. Alright. fine because I do have it held up with first. Alright, we've got one arm up. We gotta do one arm down and then we're good to go. He's waving hello, she is. You, Soto Pop, it's you! Welcome in! You're just working on a Haniwa or a gyroid. Gotta face it down. Alright. Face me again for a ready to go to. Don't know how well these arms are gonna stick, but we're gonna try. Right, we might have an open Honeywell. Let me get turn around. Let's see. I say not bad for a first time. This is, oh my gosh, this is just so goofy. I love it. We have an Opie Haniwa. She lives. She lives. She's got her dancing arms and everything. I just hope they stick. I do think they will, because I do have, like, on the inside, the wire is reinforced with additional. Let's see. Alright, you're ready to be entombed? Okay. I'll make sure to put her on the very, very top. There we go. Ah, it's so good! Ta-da! OP Gyroid! I didn't think it was gonna take this long, but I think I'm pretty happy with the result. I might, after stream, like, smooth some things out and maybe give her a tail. I don't know, probably not. Kind of liking her as is. But I want to thank you all for coming out. and enjoying the little arts and craft time on this cozy Sunday afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are. I hope you had a lot of fun just chilling and watching the shenanigans, which is Opie, Gyroid slash Haniwa. When she is fully dry, I will make sure to get some photos out. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to paint her or not. We'll see. I kind of like just the clay look is kind of nice. But thank you all for coming out. Let me see if. Actually, I do have someone comfy cozy to rate. You have Punderful. She's playing Coffee Simulator. I don't know what that is, but it looks absolutely goofy. We're gonna go ahead and raid Punderful. Let me get the raid messages out. Didn't mean to hit the ending one. I love my buttons. They don't work well. Thank you, Lore. But thank you all for coming out for the 3rd year anniversary of Opie. The official date was on Wednesday, and I do plan, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with monthly streams. That is the goal. Obviously, the next big stream will be my birthday affiliate stream, which is always held around July 6th. I don't know if it'll do it the day of, because I know that's like a weekday this year. Otherwise, we might move it to a weekend. Be on the lookout for July for the next big stream for me. But I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or afternoon, or wonderful morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Wow, thank you so much for the raid. Wow.
On you are real.